Let's start, David, with the Jets, all the way at the bottom, trying to find the perfect fix for the Jets offseason and heading into 2021. What is it?
There it is. It's appeared in the clouds like a sign from above. It's Sam Darnold and the next 2 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. And It's gold because the Texans will still get a good young quarterback and they'll get some picks, and then they get Deshaun Watson with the Jets, and it's going to be absolutely dynamic. And then you take free agency, and you already have Quentin Williams, and you go grab a guy like J.J. Watt, you pay him a little bit of money, you bring him in, let him wreak havoc next to a young stud like Quentin, and suddenly your defense is better, and everyone's happier in New York.
Okay.
So the Jets essentially becoming the Texans.
Tell me it can
without the drama. Without the drama, though, right, David? All right, Mark, you got to tell us whether it's how we can make this reality.
David, that's not a dream, man. That's very real. And that's because the Jets have set themselves up with the Jamal Adams trade to get those extra first-round picks this year and next year. So they've got 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. Could use 3, probably have to use 3 of those to get Deshaun Watson, but at least they have the capital to do so. As far as J.J. Watt situation in free agency, the Jets have the second most cap space, and they won't have to break the bank for J.J. Watt. I think J.J. is really looking for the best situation. Without Deshaun Watson, I don't think the Jets would be in consideration, but you bring Deshaun Watson there, and they could be reunited like peaches and herbs, since we got the musical theme here with the scenario Tribe Called Quest. So there you go, David.
This is perfect. Mark's got the scenario to make all of these dreams come true. Willie, the next dream is for you here. How we make the Patriots figure out that 2020 was just a blip on the radar and get them back to the top of the division standings. What is your dream scenario for you?
Yeah, and this is a deep, deep dream, so stay with me, Mark. Okay, we're going to bring Russell Wilson over in the trade. Somebody who has the perfect balance of running the football, being smart, a great team guy who's always going to talk about the Patriots and go Pats, being able to throw the ball from the pocket, and then we're going to bring him a pass catcher from the Bucs over, Chris Godwin, a guy who works hard, who will be a great mentor and leader for N'Keal Harry, go along great with Julian Edelman, and add some to that offensive side. And you add Russell and you add Chris, I think that automatically puts them back in the race for the playoffs. Right, Mark?
Well, Willie, that's like a NyQuil dream, one of those sick takes of NyQuil dreams where you just all loopy. So I like the Chris Godwin situation. The Patriots have the 3rd most cap space, so they can go out and get Chris Godwin. That's realistic.
Okay.
The getting the Russell Wilson aspect of it is a little bit trickier because, again, just as Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson would demand 3 ones, possibly. Russell Wilson would be the same type of situation. The Jets have the capital. The Patriots would really have to mortgage the next 3 or 4 drafts to do so to get Russell. So that might be a little bit difficult, Willie. Sorry about that.
Sorry, a little too much NyQuil.
Well, whether it's Godwin or not, a receiver should definitely be on the list for the Patriots, right? They were dead last in touchdowns by actual receivers in 2020. All right, David, back to you here with the Buffalo Bills already at the top of the division. How do they get even better? What's their dream?
Well, Mark, now that we've collectively saved the Jets' entire franchise, let's turn our attention to the Bills and see if we can do the same thing. When I watched them play in the playoffs, all I could think about, everyone was saying, they're just getting killed in the secondary. And I think about it, they have a decent secondary players. Yeah. The problem was pass rush. Now, Shaq Barrett, who Willie laid out, and we've talked about this earlier this week, is he wants to break the bank. Now, maybe the Bills can do it. That's going to be your professional realm there, Mark. But I think Shaq and then Von Miller coming off injury might be a reduced rate. You put those 2 guys next to, that back end with the Bills offense. I think you got something going here. Tell me we can make another team's dream can come true.
Well, that would be a scary tandem, David, with Von and Shaq. I mean, even more scary than Shaq and JPP. But again, how can the Bills make this happen? They're over the cap right now. They don't have a lot to spend. If they were one of the teams that were at the top of the list with cap space, then we could kind of talk about it. The Bills are actually over. So what they would have to do is cut a bunch of players, maybe 5 of their top earning players right now to create that cap space to pursue Shaq Barrett. And then you add Von Miller's contract in as well. That might be a little bit tough, a little bit tricky for the Bills, David.
Come on, Mark, figure it out, man. Don't find an excuse, find a way. That's what we're trying to do here with these dream scenarios. All right, let's move on. Final team here in the AFC East, the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. Willie, what's their dream scenario?
And I'm going to do B-Flow a solid. I'm going to get Allen Robinson from the Chicago Bears to come over with a young Tua and I'm going to get my man Devontae Smith. They already got Devontae Parker, I'm going to add Devontae Smith. So I'm going to add some firepower. Now, Allen Robinson is a great receiver. His numbers are up this year. With the inconsistent quarterback, he'll be able to run all the routes. He'll be able to do everything. He'll be able to teach this young phenom a lot of different things. And Tua has already played with him, Mark, at Alabama, so the chemistry is there. Please tell me we can make this happen.
All right, Willie, you nailed this one because this is
go.
very, very realistic for the Dolphins. I mean, they have the 10th most cap space, so the money won't be a problem to pursue an Allen Robinson or another receiver. They have the 3rd pick in the draft to choose a Devontae Smith but I'm just switch it up on you. Maybe Jamar Chase might be better. Devontae Smith came out and said Mac Jones he'd rather play with him than Tua. But regardless of that, it is very realistic for the Dolphins to really control what they want to do, signing whatever free agent receiver that's Allen Robinson for you, Willie, and Devontae Smith to take the 3rd pick in the draft. They're off and running. The resurgence of Tua, the Tua that everybody thought they were getting down in Miami.